If you don't believe that there's a reason for you being here, just look a couple generations behind you and look at the astronomically beautiful odds, against all odds, that you're sitting here right now. He had sued for his own freedom as an enslaved man and he won. And then he saved money to free his daughter. And I saw the signature on the document that he did that. Rediscovering our family stories and reconnecting to our family story, we find a powerful remedy for main character syndrome that we all have. Hi, I'm Danielle Romero, and I'm so glad you heard me here on my channel where we talk about American identity and family stories. Have you ever felt like you're just floating through life, disconnected from the world around you, or maybe you feel like you're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle? If you do, you are not alone. So what happened? Why does it feel like we have drifted away from this profound sense of connection that our grandparents used to have in their community and their parents? I think the reasons are many and complex. You know, there's the rise of urbanization, the pursuit of individualism. When was the last time you sat down and really dug into where you came from? And I don't mean you, like just your parents, but your family's history, the stories that shaped them and in turn shaped yours. It's actually really incredible when you start peeling back the layers. You see, we're not just random players in this game of life. The advent of modern technology and all of these factors have contributed to this society where the emphasis on communal bonds and ancestral heritage has been diminished. In our quest for progress and personal success, which isn't a bad thing, I think we've inadvertently let go of the communal ties that once helped define us and help us to see where we're going. Strangely, though, we live in a time of extraordinary connectedness, though. Social media, the internet, all these tools at our fingertips, but ironically, I really think that we feel more disconnected than ever. The path to rediscovering the connection we're longing for is less obvious than we think, though, because it's not about grand gestures or life-altering epiphanies. It's about something much simpler, yet profoundly important. It's about looking back to know how to move forward, about finding our place, your place, and a story. And I think it's important to talk about something that we all face, but maybe rarely discuss. And it's this feeling of being the main character in our own lives. I think it's a natural perspective. After all, we each experience life through our own eyes, and I think it's easy to get caught up in this narrative that the life we're living is a solo script for us and us alone. We're told that, you know, we need to be the hero of our lives. We're the central figure. Main character syndrome is, I think it's such a great phrase. But I think it leads us to believe that we're the sole architects of our story, and the story ends with us. We're the last stop on the train. But this perspective overlooks a really important truth, that we are not the final destination in this narrative, but we're a link in a chain connecting the past and our ancestors behind us and the future, those that are to come. Each of us has an incredible family story. Not all of us believe it, but a story of triumph, struggle, adventures, and I'm not just saying that you'll find all the answers to life's big questions in your great-grandma's diary or an old photo album, although you might find some, but you might find a piece of yourself that you didn't know was missing. Is the shift in focus from I to we is transformative. It's about recognizing that our actions and our decisions have repercussions that extend beyond our immediate lives. It's influencing the fabric of our family story through generations, and we are so disconnected, I think, that we don't often understand how those decisions by our ancestors in their lives have influenced us today. Where you're sitting right now is influenced by hundreds of thousands of decisions that your ancestors made. And so at the end of the video, I want to tell you about a tool that I made. It's totally free. I want you to have it. And I think it'll be a huge help in starting this journey of reconnecting to your family story. I think in rediscovering our family stories and reconnecting to our family story, we find a powerful remedy for main character syndrome that we all have, including myself. We uncover the humility, the sense of deep connection, and a purpose, I think, that surpasses our individual ambitions. We realize that we're part of a story for sure, but it's much bigger than ourselves. I think that, especially for Americans, because I'm an American, so I want to speak for myself and the things I have seen firsthand, that the pace of assimilation for families coming to the United States, I'm talking about immigrants from all over the world in the 19th and 20th centuries, there was such a desire, such a need to assimilate as fast as possible that we lost our sense of who our family had been before coming here. And even for people who their family were brought over as enslaved persons, like some of my ancestors, or they were already here and lost history because of what happened to the indigenous people here. There are so many reasons why you may not know your full family story. And I think this realization, though, has a power to heal in a lot of ways that we didn't actually know we needed healing. When we dig into our family stories, I guarantee you, you're going to find that your family story intersects with so many other people's family stories. We are so connected to each other. It is mind blowing how connected we are. And I think it's also helpful because it's about recognizing that challenges that we face today in our lives, they're real, but they're not new. They've been faced before by our family. And yes, they've shown up in different ways and in different forms by those who came before us. But because those ancestors persevered, you're sitting where you are right now. I think this perspective completely changes the framework for the way we tackle challenges in our lives, the way we approach our circumstances and who we are and why we're here. It could be just a beautiful catalyst for community building. Again, we feel so disconnected. Maybe it's just me, but I really do feel like now more than ever, we're connected, but not really connected. And when we start sharing our family stories after uncovering them, I think we really can begin to foster a sense of belonging and identity within our communities, especially for people whose families have been somewhere for a really long time. You start to realize how fundamental your family's history is with the history of that area. And if you're like me, my family has moved all around, reconnecting to the places where your family is from is unbelievably powerful. It's so moving. I don't think it's too late to change our approach to our family stories. It's not too late to be people who care about our family stories and know our family stories and are able to pass the information down to the next generation. I mean, we live in an age where we have the tools, we have the technology and the knowledge to learn how to reconnect to our roots. But the irony is that that same technology has contributed to our sense of being disconnected. And I think it's incredible that it's not the tools that are disconnecting us, but it's the way we're using it. There's documents that I look at when I'm sitting in bed sometimes, and they're hundreds of years old, and I'm seeing the actual scan of these documents. I was able to look at the actual document that my fifth grandfather signed when he manumitted his daughter. He had sued for his own freedom as an enslaved man, and he won. And then he saved money to free his daughter. And I saw the signature on the document that he did that. If you don't believe that there's a reason for you being here, just look a couple generations behind you and look at the astronomically beautiful odds, against all odds, that you're sitting here right now. Your ancestors, your family survived so much. So much of it we don't even know. We haven't even scratched the surface. And when you start peeling back the layers to your family story and seeing the resilience, how they survived, all of these things, it does something to you. It does something to me where I realize that baton has been passed. Now I've got it and it's my turn. And at some point we need to realize it's going to get passed on again. You know, we're not the main character in our story. At some point, you know, the chapter ends for us and a new chapter is going to begin. But right now it's your responsibility. It's my responsibility to do what we're supposed to do, to preserve our story, to interpret our story, and to share our stories with our family and the world. It's not just a nostalgic longing for the past, although I think that definitely happens when you're researching, but it's a recognition of the importance of our heritage in shaping the future that's been unfolding long before we got here, and it will continue long after. You think that this may be something worth trying? Start simple. You don't need to be a historian overnight. Begin with what you know and what is around you. Talk to your relatives, especially the older ones, and ask them about their childhood. What was life like when they were young? Ask about stories they remember from their grandparents or your great grandparents. And so I've been thinking about how to bring more of that connectedness, especially here on the channel. And I've had some ideas. I kind of dream big, so I don't know if all of these will make sense or if I will be able to actually work it out. But I would love to do something that's just beyond this online experience. My channel is fundamentally, it started with this, of my journey to understand my family's hidden heritage. I want to share every step of the way with you where I'm at for as long as YouTube lets me. I'm a little concerned they're going to deplatform me, so we'll get to that. But I also am thinking beyond. I'm envisioning a more community-oriented experience for us, for all of us, where we can engage, share, grow, talk together. Because I don't want this to be just about watching a video and having a transactional kind of thing like that, but I want it to be more about participating in something and contributing, actually contributing to a larger conversation that can bring meaningful change to our lives and our communities. And we need that. I know you feel that too. So to stay in the loop and be a part of what that might look like in the future, I'm still trying to think it through. I would love to have you sign up for my mailing list. Like I said, I've been flagged by YouTube for a couple of videos, and I would love to make sure that we stay connected. I'll leave a link to my email list below. I'm trying to just do like a weekly roundup kind of thing, and they're kind of short and sweet. But by doing so, you'll be the first to know about new content, upcoming projects, and opportunities to engage more deeply with our shared stories. And if we're not connected, let's make sure that we are, and we'll talk soon.